Okay, get ready for this bombshell, because what Meghan Markle allegedly tried to do behind palace doors might just be the most shocking move yet. You think you've heard royal drama before, honey? This one takes the crown. Let's start from the beginning. Prince Harry, once one of the most beloved royals, is now caught in a mess so tangled it feels like a soap opera, except it's real. It all centers around their daughter, Lilibet, Diana's birth certificate. And the whispers going around, they're not just about a typo or title. No. These whispers claim Meghan tried to pull a full-on disappearing act with Harry's actual legal name as the casualty. Yes, you read that right. She allegedly tried to wipe his real identity from his own daughter's birth certificate. And it's not a metaphor. His name literally missing. Instead of Henry Charles Albert David, the name he was born with, they reportedly listed the Duke of Sussex as the first name and His Royal Highness as the last.
Excuse me?
That's like filling out your passport as CEO of Vibes and expecting the DMV to roll with it. Now think about that. Your legal identity, your name, gone from the most important document of your child's life. That's what Harry is reportedly dealing with. And let's be real, this wasn't some sleepy hospital clerk hitting the wrong keys. No, it was deliberate. And you know who people are pointing fingers at? Meghan, the queen of sleek PR and legal maneuvering. The woman knows how to play the game, and she plays to win. Even if you're a duke, it's not just about fancy titles on paper. Even if you're a duke, you still need your real name on legal documents. It's protocol. It's the law. It's like putting DR on a form. You still need John Smith underneath. But on Lilibet's certificate, John Smith is gone. And yet somehow the certificate was still issued. Suspicious? You bet. Here's where it starts to feel like a thriller. Meghan knows how powerful paperwork is. She's lived in Hollywood, she's lived in palaces, and she's taken on tabloids. She knows what forms do and don't mean. And when it comes to things like custody, travel, inheritance, birth certificates are everything. If Harry's legal name isn't there, his rights as a parent weakened, strategically, quietly. And surprise, surprise, when Harry tried to get British passports for Archie and Lilibet, everything came to a screeching halt. Months of delays, and when officials were asked what was going on, technical issues, they said. Please, that's the oldest brush off in the book. Harry knew something was off. He reportedly even considered using the name Spencer, his mother's maiden name, as a workaround. Yes, a literal prince contemplating using the name of a family he was never legally part of just to get basic travel documents for his kids. That's how boxed in he felt. This isn't just about royal mishaps anymore. This smells like strategy, because while Harry was spiraling, Meghan stayed calm, collected. She knows exactly how these systems work and, more importantly, how to use them. And while the public debated over HRH titles, Meghan may have already made moves in the background that would haunt Harry for years. Here's a detail that sends chills. British passport applications require verified birth certificates. If Harry's full legal name was missing, of course, the process would get stalled. That's not a bug, it's a feature. It creates friction, it creates leverage, it creates power. So what happened next? Legal threats, panic, emergency services, desperate attempts to fix what had already been broken. Harry didn't just want a passport, he reportedly demanded that his kids' royal titles, HRH and all, be included. The nerve. The same titles the royal family had made clear they weren't to use in commercial or public life. And yet here was Harry clinging to that last shard of royal identity, even if it meant dragging his kids through red tape hell. But it doesn't stop there. Reports say Harry went so far as to demand access to all internal records on the passport delays. That's not the behavior of someone mildly annoyed. That's a man who feels sabotaged and wants proof. And maybe he's starting to wake up. Maybe Harry's realizing that the power he once thought he had, it's slipping. Meghan isn't just co-piloting anymore. She may be flying the whole damn plane. And here's the kicker. When a birth certificate is missing a father's legal name, UK law doesn't just shrug and move on. It requires a full re-registration. That means legal paperwork, official consent, and basically starting over on one of the most important documents of a child's life. Can you imagine being a father and having to reapply to be listed as your own daughter's dad? While everyone's busy gossiping about HRH titles and Meghan's brand deals, Harry is behind the scenes scrambling just to have his name connected, legally connected, to his daughter. And just when you think it can't get more painful, it does. Because when it comes to traveling internationally with kids, the law is very clear. A parent, especially one without sole custody, needs written permission from the other. So if Harry ever wanted to fly his children to the UK without Meghan, he couldn't, not without her signed approval. And let's be honest, who really thinks Meghan would hand over that kind of power without a fight? What's even more heartbreaking, Harry's vanishing in all of this. Slowly, quietly, symbolically. He may still wear the Duke title, but what does it mean if he has to beg just to be recognized as a father? Now let's go deeper, because this whole mess isn't just a bureaucratic blunder. It's about identity, about power, about control. And Meghan, she's sitting right in the middle of it all. While Harry is stuck wrestling with paperwork, red tape, and government offices, Meghan's holding all the keys. The kids, the documents, the legal leverage. And whether she did it all intentionally or just rode the wave of mistakes, one thing's clear: she's the one with the upper hand. Look closely at the media spin. The headlines love talking about Meghan's use of HRH on business cards, her latest Netflix moves, or the Sussex branding drama, but they're missing the bigger picture. Because while all that noise keeps us distracted, the real drama is unfolding in silence, in government systems, in legal loopholes, in the places that actually matter when families fall apart. No one's asking the big questions, like how does a birth certificate get accepted with no father's legal name? How does a prince, who used to be a heartbeat from the throne, get reduced to sending legal threats just to get a passport for his own child? And worse, what happens if this situation keeps escalating? Meghan has the power, legally, to deny Harry the ability to travel with his kids. Courts tend to favor the parent with more documented control. And guess what? With Harry's name blurred or missing, he'd be walking into any legal fight with a hand tied behind his back. Imagine being told you can't take your own child on a plane without the other parent's blessing. Imagine needing permission to spend time with a child who bears your blood, your legacy, your love. And that permission? It's held by the very woman who may have helped erase your name from the official record. The re-registration of the birth certificate is the smoking gun here. It's quiet confirmation that someone, somewhere, realized something was off, and instead of owning up to it publicly, they tried to patch it in the background. But the damage, already done. The trust, shattered. The headlines, already being written. Because the truth isn't just about what was printed on a piece of paper. It's about what wasn't. It's about how Harry, little by little, is being sidelined. A supporting character in a royal saga that used to be his life. The man who once stood in uniform next to his brother, carrying the weight of tradition, now finds himself lost in a legal maze where his name carries no real weight. And Meghan? She's not just surviving, she's thriving. She's moved beyond Buckingham Palace. She's built her own power structure, one made of legal dominance, polished branding, and meticulous control over her narrative. Forget royal gowns and balcony waves. This is a different game, one where the throne isn't a chair, it's a signature on a document, a checkbox on a form, a name that appears or doesn't on a birth certificate. And here's the twist that stings the most. Harry still clings to the image. He wants the titles, he wants the recognition, but what he doesn't seem to grasp yet is that those things no longer give him the real power, not in a courtroom, not in the passport office, not in a custody hearing. Because when you're up against someone who knows exactly how to play this game, someone who sees every legal loophole, who understands every PR trick, who controls the documents that define a family, you're already 10 steps behind. This whole drama proves something brutal but honest. Power isn't about crowns or family trees. It's about knowing which names to include and which ones to leave off. Harry, once the prince who had the world's attention, is now watching his rights as a father dissolve one form at a time. And Meghan? She's already rewritten the rules. Behind closed doors, this isn't a fairy tale. It's a quiet battle. And if Harry doesn't find a way to regain control, his role in this story might shrink until there's nothing left but a title and a fading memory of the man he used to be. Because what's worse than being cut out of your own family? Being cut out in silence and not realizing it until it's too late.